great week
Good
for
man.
Howie. Not so good for Richard Hart and Hex.
Dickie Hart is on the run. So I got a chance to talk to a few Hexicans. They're like, Howie, man, it's real. The SEC is sending out subpoenas, and they're talking to not just Dickie. Dickie's got a lot of his henchmen. You know, the problem now is one of these Hexicans told me, he said, basically, Dickie's telling this guys, look, we need to try to burn our trails, try to, get rid of old tweets.
Allegedly. What? Really?
Allegedly.
This is crazy. Yeah, this is crazy. Really?
And nobody's a fan of the SEC.
No.
I certainly am not. I mean,
I hate the football league.
Yeah, the number one,
fuck Alabama.
one in the country right now, 1 in 3. But the bottom line, man, we all know this, and I mean the Hexicans don't, because you don't get that news in Florida trailer parks. And what I'm finding out is a lot of these guys are actually they're overseas, they're European, they're English. That just goes to show you these Europeans, they're not the smartest fucking people in the world either.
Is for entertainment purposes only. You'd be an idiot to listen to anything these degenerates say. Invest at your own risk, do research, but seriously don't listen to these ass clowns. Now enjoy Cash Daddies.
And welcome to Cash Daddies. We're banking fatties. We're in it to win it. Joining me as always from space, Jay Nice, Johnny Woodard. How are you, Johnny?
Good, man. Good. It's been a busy week. A lot of exciting news. We got some crazy stuff going on over at Twitter and Meta. A lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Crypto's in the shitter. There's a lot going on.
The language. And joining us with a nice glamour shots hue to his screen, my good friend, Howie Dewey. How are you, Howie?
Good, brother. Good. Good.
You have to be in a good mood. Your Jets beat the Bills.
Dude, the Jet I don't want to say we're going to the playoffs. And this is the best Jets team we've had in 30 years. I'm
crazy.
pumped. I'm
You're
pumped.
talking crazy out your butt.
No, I'm just saying it's crazy that the Jets are good.
Yeah,
you
it is.
The Jets are going to make it with the Bills and the Dolphins in your league.
Yeah, they got the
We
wild
just beat the Bills.
Yeah.
I think we can get a wild card, no doubt about it.
All right, I respect you, dude.
I do
your
too.
Optimism.
They got
Tell
6
me what
wins,
you
right?
think.
6 wins, Howie?
6-2.
Yeah, come on, man. They're on their
All right,
way.
I'll respect you, bro. I'll respect you.
Sam's unplugged from football because his Raiders are one of the worst teams, if not the worst.
By the way,
team in
I'm
the
already
NFL.
unplugged for next season too, because I know we're gonna suck then too. So why? No, they're talking about moving Carr now in the off season.
Really? Giving up on the guy, huh?
9 years, bro.
Has it been that long, really? Wow.
Yeah.
No kidding. Damn.
9 years, dude.
I
After
bet
that
do
long,
you think he could be like a Stafford type who gets traded to like a perfect situation and has some success?
I think, if he went to somewhere like that had a decent line, I think he could do some damage. I don't think Carr's the problem. I also don't think he's the solution.
You guys need a
it.
rebuild. Is that what you're thinking?
I mean, we're always rebuilding. I mean, we're constantly rebuilding. We're like Tornado Lane in like Oklahoma, where it's like we build some new trailers, bam, all of a sudden it gets knocked down again. Guess what we do? Build more trailers. So that's it. But yeah, man. How was your guys' week? What's going on?
Good week today, man. Sold a little Morgan Stanley today for a nice 33% banger. Yeah, we're back to banking. October was great. November's been good. Yeah, I mean, it's we got stuff hitting yearly highs today. It's been a good run.
It's an interesting time because all they want to do is talk about doom and gloom, but it seems to be some good stuff going on out there as well.
Listen, the people that talk about doom and gloom, those are the people that just don't wake up and just simple educate yourself. Just listen to the markets for 30 minutes, 15, 30, find out what the fuck's going on in the world. Just so you know, hey, look, this is wild. Oil and energy keeps going up. Geez, maybe I should put my IRA into this like we've been saying for 2 years. I mean, honestly, I've gotten more feedback this week from people that have just compared their investments with like friends and other people, for everybody who's invested in Tesla, Google, Apple, and these guys are down 30, 40, 50% for the year versus, stuff that we're in like OIH, XLE hitting all-time highs today. Dude, the difference in being down 30% and up 5 or 10 or 15%, that's a 40% difference. Over the course of 20 years, baby, that's $500,000. That's $500,000.
That's not, there's no fuzzy math in that.
No, man.
There's no fuzzy math. Being up 30%, down 10%, that is 40%.
It is. Sure. It is. And I've gotten feedback. I've gone over people and they're like, this is what you said that you were putting your stuff into 6 months ago. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, holy shit, man. Caterpillar, John Deere, these things are all-time highs right now. XLE, OIH, oil and energy is just through the roof. And my biggest question is, people are like, should we sell it? Should we take profits? I'm like, actually, not yet. No, my guys are telling me it's breaking out. It's going to keep going. So, when they say to sell, we will certainly sell and get into a different sector. But listen, there's a lot of good things happen. If you surround yourself and you listen to elections, politics, war, first of all, how does that affect you and I? It doesn't. It doesn't affect you if you don't listen to it. But what does affect us is watching your investments go up, because that allows you in 5-7 years. You know what? I couldn't afford that $500,000 house 5 years ago. Now I can. Now I can use this as a down payment. I can use this equity I built up. We just got to stop focusing on stupid shit. Focus on stuff that makes a difference. And
I agree, bro.
It's been a great week. I've heard from more readers this week, just going back and forth, looking over portfolios. It's been a busy week, but it's been a good week.
It's been a good and great week for Howie. Not so good for Richard Hart and Hex. So Howie, bad news for those fellas.
Dickie Hart is on the run. So I got a chance to talk to a few Hexicans. 2 of them are now ex-Hexicans. And they're like, Howie, man, it's real. The SEC is sending out subpoenas, and they're talking to not just Dickie, but a lot of Dickie. Dickie's got like a few henchmen, like that little short lesbian looking dude with the long hair down in Florida that was always spewing. Like, you don't have the money, buy more Hex.
Oh, right.
And
yeah.
Dickie's got a lot of his henchmen getting subpoenaed. So, the problem now is one of these Hexicans told me, he said, basically Dickie's telling this guys, look, you need to we need to try to burn our trails, try to, get rid of old tweets, get rid of anything.
Allegedly. What? Really?
Allegedly.
This is crazy. Yeah, this is crazy. Really? He's telling them to burn documents? Oh my God.
No, supposedly now it's out there. So what's crazy is this subpoena by the and nobody's a fan of the SEC. No. I certainly am not. I
hate the football league too.
Yeah, the number one.
Fuck Alabama.
One in the country right now. 1 in 3. But fucking, so supposedly by November 12th, I think this Friday, these subpoenas have to be back in. But the bottom line, man, we all know this, and the Hexicans don't, because you don't get that news in Florida trailer parks. And what I'm finding out is a lot of these guys are actually, they're overseas, they're European, they're English. So that just goes to show you, these Europeans, they're not the smartest fucking people in the world either. Fall for this.
And here's the thing. Now, you got Richard Hart. He just tweeted 53 minutes ago, it's the Richard Hart was right jar, and it's just filled with money. It's like he's talking about, and he tweeted out yesterday talking about how he's trying to compare Hex with Bitcoin and Ethereum. He's like, all the big coins are down, Hex is what's Hex trade at right now?
Hex is down something. Hex is down something like 20% more than anyone else.
Is it 3 cents? Is it 3 pennies? Is it 3 whole pennies? 3 pennies.
That's what it's worth.
And Bitcoin is down, but it's down to 18,000.
And I read something today where one of the guys, and this just kills one of the guys, said, well, look, I'm not worried because I'm staked out until 2027. And so I'm talking to one of these Hexicans. This guy, and he said, dude, he goes, I got a better chance. And this was yesterday. He goes, I got a better chance of hitting that $1 billion lottery tomorrow than that dude has of regaining a penny.
Oh, I mean, dude,
that money's gone, dude.
Crazy, bro.
That money's gone.
That is crazy.
It's going to be interesting to read the news over the next week and see what the SEC does, because they are coming down harder on all these entities right now because of, all the past scams. And I mean, if there's a dude with a bigger SCAM on his forehead, it's Dickie Hart. Dickie's got it written right here, like the world can see. And the other thing too is, my buddy said, yeah, his social media is not the same. He's like, you can't respond. No one really knows where he is now. Dude, he's packing his shit up and looking for an island right now.
Interesting.
It just sucks.
Interesting. You mentioned the lottery, by the way. We do have a winner in California. $2 billion, $2.04 billion. The IRS is going to take $239 million off the top of that, of course, but you're still walking away with
no, he can get $1 billion right out the gate.
Well, that's the lump sum. But if
he was in Vermont,
that's if he chooses the cash option though, Sam. It's
California
$997.
He'll be walking away with what, like $3,000?
Yeah, I mean that's another at least 10%, I think. Yeah, so if they do the lump sum, which I'm sure they would, which is still almost $1 billion, $997 million, they're taking $239 million off of that. Which is still, I mean, it's stupid money.
You can buy an arena football team
every time. Who wins?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the real winners of every lottery. You're right.
Every time. It's freaking ridiculous. But what would you guys do with $1 billion? First thing I would
take care of everybody.
Never talk to you guys ever again. That'd be the first thing I would do. I would change my number. I would just hang out with hot black chicks.
Well, the first thing, you don't tell anybody, right?
Yeah,
you do what that Chinese guy did
in a bird suit. I would show up in like a fucking the Chinese dude show up in a mascot outfit, talking of one of my amazing language dialects and accents.
Yeah, give us that. How would you show up and accept the money?
Go with the French guy. Hi, Mr.
Hi, sir. We got this novelty check here for you. The actual money will be deposited in your account. There you go. Congratulations on winning Powerball.
Bloody fucking hey! I'm hanging out with my $1 billion and my Lucky Charms.
What's the first thing you plan to do, sir, with the money?
Go and bang bloody hot black chicks from Houston.
Okay, we got a cut from that. Okay, sorry there, folks.
Black chicks.
He just did
make some Blake Griffins.
He just did India, Alabama, and like fucking Northern Vermont all in one.
One of those wasn't even an accent; it was like a mental condition. One of them was like a disability. That's so funny. FTX is in the shitter. We got to talk about FTX, like you were saying.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. That because. The reason, tell them, John, I mean, the reason crypto's just taking a beat down because FTX was done. They were done. They were history. They were headed to zero. And Binance came out and bought all their non-US assets.
That's right. Yeah.
Or said they would.
Or that's the plan anyway, right?
Yeah.
And we're looking at, let's see, they saw $6 billion in withdrawals in 72 hours. That's a story from 3 hours ago. FTX did $6 billion in withdrawals. So now they've got this liquidity crisis.
Hey, I'm going to be honest with you. We should at least thank them for letting people withdraw. If this was any other place, they would have shut that shit down at 2 million people, $2 million. They would have shut it down, not letting anybody. So my respect goes out to them for letting people pull their money out.
Did everybody get to pull their money out, Johnny?
Well, I haven't seen that they've frozen withdrawals yet. I haven't seen anything about that. So I that could happen. That seems imminent. I mean, it has to happen surely at some point. The FTX token is down 80%, and that's as 6 hours ago. I'm sure it's down a little bit more now.
22 to 5.
That's just Oh,
Yeah.
disaster for the people who had their money there. And you're seeing, just as of an hour ago, Binance is going to buy FTX and a mega deal of crypto exchanges. That's from the New York Times there. So, real crisis. And it's all just because Bitcoin just dropped to a new low for the year. I mean, that's really what it's about. It's about crypto in a tailspin.
I mean, it's crazy because this morning Bitcoin was at 20,500. Now it's at 18,300, which I mean, that's not that huge of a drop.
No, it seems to kind of bounce around there, right? If it goes lower than 17, like 17 gets in it could really
like
drop.
Bitcoin, to put it in perspective, Bitcoin's down 10% for the week. 10% for the week. You got Hex. Hex is down 30% for the week. So, and I love the way this dumbass always puts out there. He's like, Bitcoin, look where it is. It keeps dropping. And, we're hanging tough.
So stupid.
It's like, dude, you're down 20% more. Why are you even putting yourself in the same category? Your fake little coin is trading at 3 cents.
Yeah, it's nuts. It just keeps. I mean, like, dude, this is. Shut up. Just shut up.
Dude.
Get quiet. Stop.
Well, it's an issue because he hasn't put out, he hasn't put out any of those like fucking fruity pictures of him with like a Gucci running suit on with like a fake dildo in his ass. You haven't seen any of those lately. I just got a manicure and jacked off by a couple midgets. But check out this new handbag I'm wearing. You have not seen any of that shit.
I mean, he's in trouble, dude. He's in trouble.
He's feeling the heat. And when the SEC, that's the last thing you want, because they don't dick around. And when they pull subpoenas, then they start sending, you don't have him that day.
And what are they getting him for?
Well, I don't know. No one really knows. They're asking basically all the people that advertise. So I think they're going to look into, okay, you advertised, you said this. The first thing they subpoena is they want to know where the money is, where the bank accounts, where's the cash. We want to see it. That's what they're going to ask.
And it might be something they find from this that they don't even know about yet. But it's like that Kardashian thing. They're going to a lot of influencers too and seeing if they properly disclosed their association with Hex when they were promoting it. That's going to be a big part of
it. Do we have any guarantee 38%?
I mean, like it really is and that's what's fueled this Hex. It's all of its growth that it's backtracked on now, but it was by this social media movement of people, wanting to secure wealth, generational wealth for their families. That's what they told them they were going to have. And we're finding that a lot of the people that started a lot of those threads were paid to do so. So that's interesting.
Yeah. So that's what it's going to be real interesting to see this news in a week. I mean, there's a couple guys that know way more about this than I do that have basically come out and said he's done.
Really?
It's a matter of time. Yeah. There's a couple guys on here. I mean, and I talked to two of the ex-Hexers. And they said they're talking with the community, and tons of people in the community are like, a lot of people are getting their money out. A lot of them are trying to, but they're like, I'm staked till 2027. Dude, kiss that shit goodbye.
Unbelievable, dude.
We've also got Twitter, massive layoffs at Twitter when Elon Musk took over. And, props to Jack Dorsey. If you don't know, Twitter's co-founder and former CEO. He admitted that it was his fault that all these layoffs took place because they grew Twitter too fast, which is something I know Howie was always talking about, how Twitter was just bloated and too big for.
What do you mean it grew too fast?
They hired too many people that they couldn't afford to pay.
Yeah, they had too many employees.
Twitter imploded because it was astroturfing what was going on. They allowed 1 billion bots to go on, and Twitter got huge and it was big for a while. And then they started doing, listen, as a conspiracy theorist, I'll say, I don't know what you do when the FBI comes to your office and tells you what to start censoring. What are you going to do? What do you do at that point?
Well, if you're Mark Zuckerberg, you do exactly what they tell you to.
Well, that's what Twitter did as well.
No.
Twitter did it as well. Twitter was meeting with the FBI and they started censoring. And that's when everything started going to shit on Twitter because they started to tip the scales of news. And that's why they're in shit. Dude, if Twitter would have gone with what it was originally that made it so great, and maybe gotten rid of the hardcore porn. That was the only thing that was that I would have changed. I don't want to be reading the news and then see an interracial gangbang scene happening right there. But outside of that, the reason this whole thing imploded is because it got overly political and they were astroturfing so many movements to make it seem like they were legit. There are people in Hollywood right now making 6 figures, maybe close to 7, purely based on the interactions they were getting on Twitter. The industry would look at your Twitter and go, wow, you got huge numbers. Wow, look at all those retweets for dumbass tweets. That made no fucking sense. 5,000 likes, 5,000 retweets. And now they got 6-figure jobs. That's why, I'm sorry, I'm not here to poo-poo, I grew too quickly. No.
Well, no, that's true though. It did grow. They hired more people than they could. What we mean by that is they hired more people than they could afford to pay. That's what happened. So they had to be.
That's exactly what it was.
They were losing millions of dollars every day.
Yeah, they had too many employees.
Yeah, too many employees, and a lot of them got sent home. And they're shitting on Elon for the way he did it, but he gave them more money. He had to, according to him, and severance. It had to be done, or the company was going to be bankrupt.
Yeah, look how many companies across the board have done it in the past month. Just about all of them.
God, everybody.
Well, that's the other news. Meta now. Meta is announcing that they're gonna, or they've at least it's come out that they plan to let.
They let go of what? Nobody's talking about.
Well, no, they're talking. The stock went way up. The stock jumped on that news.
That's what Howie always says. That layoffs are great news for stock, right?
Absolutely.
The Mark Zuckerberg company, which has more than 87,000 employees as of the end of September, is expected to lay off thousands and has asked staff to cancel non-essential travel beginning this week. Now, when they ask staff to cancel their travel, some shit's about to go down.
Yeah, they're.
I just don't understand the Facebook's business model. The way they ban people from buying ads because you don't like their politics. And we talked about it on the episode that just dropped on Tinfoil Hat. Everyone's like, yeah, I'm glad, they're okay with that because a corporation like BlackRock will come in and buy all the ads. But it's obviously not happening because they're hemorrhaging money. They spent so much money. Hold on 1 second. Here, carry on. It's the guest. He's calling me.
I'm sorry, I missed the carry on, he said. If you want to do this, consumer confidence is at the lowest point it's been in a decade. And this headline I love this headline from CNBC. It says consumer confidence is near its lowest in a decade, and that could be a problem for Biden. Which is obviously. Anxiety over the cost of living and the direction of the economy could prove costly to President Biden, and the election is what they're anticipating here. This survey saw Republicans with a 37 to 21% edge on the question of which party is better for the economy, which, we know from way back, it's the economy, stupid. So this could be super bad news for the Republicans, the Democrats today with the election going on and in the future.
Any kind of a surprise?
No, it's always who's in charge, right? Who takes
point is
takes the blame.
If they can't find somebody to be Biden, Jesus Christ! Republicans got to be retarded. Seriously, find anyone. If they can speak and just not be too over the top, how do you not beat them? How do you not? I just don't get it. And I'm not political either way. I couldn't give a shit because it means nothing as far as the real economy goes. It really doesn't.
Johnny, I sent you his email.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so are we ready to go to the interview then, Sam?
Yeah, let's do the interview.
everybody, the recession is underway, fuel is through the roof, food prices are insane, and people have started to even lose their homes. But there can be a massive positive to this because recessions are where more wealth is made than in any other time in the economic cycle. Take the last recession, for example. Those who invested in property and stocks more than doubled their money in less than 2 years. But no market rose like crypto, where people made 10x, 50x, even 100 times over the same period. That's what James McMahon did. On his Crypto with James YouTube channel, he told his 21,000 subscribers to invest in the same 26 coins that he did. Had you invested $100 in each, you'd have been in profit more than $123,000. His top pick of the year, a crypto called Phantom, went up a staggering 692 times. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify it yourself. James will be sharing every coin he buys during this recession on his Copy My Crypto membership site. It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest. You simply copy along. So, to join the 2,800 members who copy James, go to copymycrypto.com/Sam. That's copymycrypto.com/SAM. It's your call. You can thrive in this recession or be a victim. Go and visit the site and read every word.
All right, let's get into today's guest is brought to you by my cousin at monstermuffins.com. Monstermuffins.com. Probably the best looking people in my family. The dude is shredded. He was a white running back, so you know he's got good genes. Go to monstermuffins.com. Joining us is he's doing the rounds of my podcast. He recently came on Tinfoil Hat with some explosive allegations against Jim Carrey, and now he's here to convince us that in these chaotic times, Shiba Inu is the way to go. Please welcome my good friend James Duray. How are you, buddy? James, are you there?
He's frozen.
James,
I'm doing well, Sam. Thank you for having me on.
all right.
Yes,
We're having a little bit.
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Can you hear me now?
I think he's
hear you.
catching.
Can you hear
I
me?
think he's catching up.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that. Big fan of the show, by the way. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, James. We appreciate you always stepping in when we need you. We were going to have our friend Zoltan on to talk about his dog shit picking up business, but he can't make it. So we're gonna get into you. Some people might think Shib is dog shit. So we're gonna hear what you have to say, because I've always been a Shib guy.
Thank you.
Even though I'm a little bit hesitant. But where do you want to start? Oh, look at that. Shib Society. We're trying to make Shib happen, James.
Hey, once again, in these chaotic times, you need to find a place that your money will be safe. The reason why I am extra bullish on Shib, and I can go down the laundry list, but first and foremost is because of the community burns. Shib is the only cryptocurrency that is burning, meaning that companies and individuals are taking a portion of their holdings, sending it to the dead wallet that Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, created because he received half of the SHIB token. He said it was too much power for one person to have. So we have the only cryptocurrency in the top 20 that's consistently has active community burns that are reducing the supply. Consistently, every day there's somebody burning SHIB. There's SHIB Superstore on Twitter that he's burned over 2 billion SHIB alone. So all you have to do is play his games, listen to music, SHIB burn radio. They take all the ad revenue that they get from the streaming service and send it to the dead wallet. And you ask yourself, well, why are these people doing it? Because it's a way for us to increase the value without increasing the amount of holders in the community. And it's been going on for over a year since SHIB took off last year. There's been burns going on consistently. So the lower the price goes, the more SHIB the burn squads do. The more SHIB gets destroyed. So the price goes up, you have more assets. If the price goes down, more SHIB is going to go away. And so in a bear market right now, over 65 billion SHIB has been reduced in this year alone. Now, I know there's trillions of them, but there's trillions of dollars. And in this fiat economy, you need to have assets because your cash is a liability at this point. I know Howie says you want to hold on to cash, but I'm saying buy assets, because if it goes up, you've got the asset that went up. And if it goes down, sell it off. You got the tax write-off. So there's no downside to investing, especially in a cryptocurrency that's burning.
Well, if you say there's no downside, I'm looking at SHIB and it's down over 80% for the year. I don't know an asset that's down 80% for the year. That one takes the cake.
I mean, I'm not looking at charts, but I know that we've seen some pretty deep drops in this bear market. But we're in a bear market. It's you can look at the charts. Bitcoin was at 70. Bitcoin's I think it's teetering at 19 right now after rallying up to 21. So Bitcoin is the standard bearer for cryptocurrency, but I also think Bitcoin is a boomer crypto at this point because it's not burning. It hasn't fully been mined. I consider it to be, if you're extremely wealthy, you want to be in Bitcoin, but I think smaller altcoins are a better holding if you aren't a millionaire. And you're right, SHIB is down 80%. Yeah. But if you look at all the things that have taken place in the bear market, Robinhood listing it, all these burn mechanisms coming into play. SHIB just released Shiba Eternity, a card game, which is going to open up cryptocurrency to a whole new group of investors, and 5% of all revenues from that card game go to the burns. Their blockchain, all the 50%, they're estimating 50% of the total amount of SHIB will be burned through the blockchain, because every transaction on the blockchain will take a portion of the cash revenue and put that towards burns. So I admit, yeah, the charts aren't sexy right now for SHIB, but the charts aren't sexy for many cryptocurrencies right now. I know Matic just had a nice little pump and took over Sol. But that's because they're getting a lot of traction with Disney using them and using their blockchain. So it's just a matter of how many people start to use these layer 2 blockchains, because the gas fees on Ethereum have not gone down since the merge, and they won't go down. I consider cryptocurrency digital real estate. When you're buying Bitcoin, you're buying a portion of digital real estate. When you're buying Ethereum, you're buying a portion of digital real estate. Well, the SHIB community is the only one that is actively, and there are burns, mind you, in Ethereum, but it's an institutional burn from the fork. So it's a transactional burn. These are burns that are happening independent of transactions, which I believe in 2 to 3 years, we're going to see a huge increase in the market cap because of these burns.
Now, when you say burns, like, here's my whole thing. Like, and I'm trying to understand this. And I'm a percentage guy. I look at everything I invest in, whether it's real estate, stocks, bonds, cash, fucking crypto, whatever. And I look at, this is January 1st, this is July, this is October, this is where my overall portfolio, this one's kicking ass, this one's really sucking.
Yes, sir.
But how do you get, like, if you were to go to someone and say, hey man, I got this investment, I'd like you to look at it, it's down 80% for the year, I think it could bounce back in the next couple of years. My main thing is, when you look at it physically, it's got a decimal point and 4 zeros in front of it before you get your first one. That's a tough one, man. That's like if you could cut a penny up into like 150 pieces. That's your investment. That's my thing. Like, how do you get a normal person that can, see and hear to buy this fucking thing?
That's a very good point. And I'd love to address that. The whole philosophy behind SHIB is that anyone in the world could theoretically own a single SHIB, that you have access to this liquidity pool. Look at cryptocurrency as a liquidity pool. So the market cap divided by the token count is how much your token is worth. Well, the idea is no one can, you have to be really rich to own whole Bitcoin, but you can own a SHIB for a fraction of a penny. And mind you, we're in one of the most economically developed countries in the world, if not the most. Developing nation, like SHIB is huge in Vietnam, SHIB is huge in Indonesia, SHIB is huge in all of the South Asian currency areas where the currency is really fractionalized comparative to the dollar. So now they have more invested in the liquidity pool of SHIB. And look at last bull run, SHIB's market cap was at $30 billion. That was 30 to 32 billion dollars. That was without the Robinhood listing. That was without major burns. That was without the card game. That was without the blockchain. So these are all major events that have occurred within the last year that, because of the economic scenarios, the things going on in Russia, there's so much uncertainty that it's only people who are extremely confident in their investments are the ones who are putting their money in everything. Howie, I listened. You said about a month ago, hey, pull your cash out. Johnny was listening. And I think we'll never know if the market's going to go up or go down, because the Fed's raised interest rates 75 basis points for every the last year, and it hasn't really. I don't see that changing the markets at all. So I think the best thing you can do is find an investment you believe in. For me, it's SHIB, and I have a bunch of friends. I was telling people to get into SHIB when it was at $8. It went all the way up to 80. I'll tell you to invest in SHIB now even more than when I was telling people to invest at 8, because of all the burns, the blockchain, the card game. They are doing things to mainstream crypto that no other cryptocurrency will do or can do. And it's just simple. You're right. The fractional number of it, it's hard to adjust your mind to it. But the whole concept is that if you were in Asia or Vietnam or a place where, the dong or whatever your currency is, it's really a very infinitesimal amount compared to the dollar. Well, you can still get some SHIB holdings. Last year when the bull run happened, you had a bunch of people in Asia going, I've got 3 million SHIB. And that was a lot to them. 3 million SHIB is not a lot if you live in America. But if you live in a small country, 3 million SHIB is a lot. It's life-changing amount of money if we get up to, the whole thing is SHIB hits a penny, how rich are you? That's what everybody's working towards. Burning, buying. Yes, sir.
James, why
Yes,
don't the creators of SHIB just burn off a bunch of it and make everybody rich? Why are we playing this game?
Because it's unlike Terra Luna, where somebody has control over the entire supply. We don't. The supply is locked up in Uniswap. 50% of the tokens were sent to Vitalik Buterin. He set up the burn wallet because he didn't want that much money. He didn't want the responsibility. He sent 40% to the dead wallet, and then he sent 10% of that to the relief of COVID in India. And they used all that to help fund the COVID relief of 2021. So SHIB is responsible for a lot of good things, as well as being a transformative cryptocurrency that not only can you hold and buy, I think it's trading at $10 or $11 per million, but I can say with certainty in 2 to 3 years, because of these burns, you're going to see the market cap surpass its all-time high easily. I think the next all-time high run, we see $120 to $130 per million of SHIB, right? So we're talking a 10x value of what we're currently trading at. And it's easy to look. Doge did a double. It was sitting at $7 to $8 billion in market cap. Elon buys Twitter. We're now at 17 to 16. All SHIB needs is a major, the blockchain releasing, people understanding the value of a layer 2 blockchain on Ethereum. Mind you, Howie, 300 million crypto investors in the world out of. So we're talking 4% of the population's involved in the cryptocurrency market. So it's an emerging market. Everybody's familiar with it, but no one is confident because people are still defining what crypto is. Well, SHIB has cleared that up. Well, SHIB is a liquidity pooling token.
Well, plus, lately, and as you can see today, a lot of these big names like FTX or Celsius, they're going to zero. And that's a problem because there goes your confidence. I mean, when you got money or you got coins and something like a Celsius, and all of a sudden the next day you can't get it out, or FTX has no liquid. There's no money left. They're bankrupt, and they have to hopefully get bought out by Binance. So that's tough with confidence right there. People don't want to put. Yeah. I mean, everything you're saying, I would think if it stays alive, if it breathes, and it doesn't go to zero, it probably will bounce back because holy shit, it's pretty low. It's down there. But on the other hand, I think myself and the public is like, how many of these things are going to be breathing in 2 years? I don't know. I have no idea. It's going to be interesting.
Well, and that's the beautiful thing. The community burning process. I drink Shiba Coffee Company. Shiba Coffee Company takes a part of their proceeds and sends it to burns. Why do they do that? Because everyone who holds SHIB, who drinks coffee, now is incentivized to buy that coffee. Why? Because when you buy that coffee, part of those profits are going towards burning off SHIB.
So SHIB actually makes coffee?
That's the thing. It's because it's decentralized. Howie, you could start a SHIB business. Sam could start a SHIB business. I own a weed company. When we're just closing our round of funding right now. When we get funded, I'm doing a whole series of SHIB strains that if you buy that, we're going to take
podcast is a shit business.
Yeah. Hey, baby. If you take profits, if you were to take profits and say Tinfoil Hat is a burning podcast, we take money and we say burn 10%, you would have a bunch of SHIB people listening to your stuff. The SHIB army is real. The power of the community is real. And that is what last year we hit almost $90 per million, all through word of mouth, all because people were buying SHIB. And then, this year was a rough year, but billionaires are made in the bear, not in the bull. So I would rather be investing in this marketplace when SHIB is at 10 rather than 80, because it's going to go up. It's not if, it's when, because the community, like myself, I'm a business owner. Once my business is executing on the strategy, we'll be burning. And people who own SHIB will be buying my weed because it burns SHIB. So they're getting high and getting their money high. That's where we're going with the SHIB community. And so that's the beautiful thing about it. We don't need other holders to buy our tokens at a market value to get our token value up. Other Bitcoin needs buyers. SHIB doesn't need buyers. We need burners, and we've got them.
Does SHIB have a leader? You guys have like a leader, like a president?
That's the cool thing. It's a completely decentralized token. So
it's not like
Terra
Luna, it's not like a Hex with a Richard Hart who kind of like.
There's nobody at the top. There's a development community that built the card game, that builds things, that built the blockchain, that are going to help the community grow and increase the value. But there's no head leader. It's a lot of speculation, and this is all conjecture from the internet because it was started by a guy named Ryoshi. And now the sexy thing is that it's Elon Musk. But the less sexy thing is that it's Vitalik Buterin realized that he had created something huge in Ethereum, but that it was too big for the people. And if you understand Vitalik Buterin, he wants the people of the planet, not the elites, but the people of the planet to succeed, to be prosperous. And cryptocurrency is one of the best ways to turn your fiat currency into something of real value, because the digital space is limited, whereas the fiat is not. We've seen inflation rates this last year at 8.2%. I mean, it's an insane inflation rate. And I don't see any signs of slowing with the Fed rates coming up. I don't see it slowing down. I tangibly still see it going up in the day-to-day shopping because I do the shopping at the house. So I'm more convinced now than ever that pick any cryptocurrency that you believe in. If it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, get some exposure. Because as the markets mature, more and more people will start seeing cryptocurrencies as a viable place to put their money for the investments to grow. And right now in a bear market, when crypto's, I think we're at $1 trillion market cap compared to the $92 trillion market cap we're talking about in the stock market. So we're fraction of a market here. We're fractional. So it's risky in the sense that, yeah, you might see a little bit of loss, but right now I have over 1 billion SHIB. My billion SHIB was bought at sub $8 because I was buying it last year. So even in this bear market, I'm still up. And I'm telling people it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, because of the burns, because the development community is setting up a blockchain this year, supposed to come out Q4. The blockchain, all portions of the blockchain transactions will take aside a portion of the money and take that to buy and then send those tokens to the dead wallet, because the development community doesn't have access to it. So they need to create capital. Terra Luna got rug pulled because Do Kwon had full access to all the tokens. That's what happens when you have all this unlimited power, when you have a head of a cryptocurrency. That's why Satoshi, the guy who created Bitcoin, doesn't exist. It's too powerful. Vitalik, I don't think he has full access to the supply of Ethereum. So whenever you have a head of the community that has full access to the supply, that's how you're going to get a rug pull. That's why Terra Luna got rug pulled, is he was doing insider trading with, I believe it was BlackRock, who BlackRock bought a bunch of Tether and then said, we got to do this off the books. Then they had shorts out on Bitcoin and Tether, and then they shorted Bitcoin and Tether into the fucking dirt. And that's the reason why the crypto market is like it is. Crypto gets stress tested, but you can't stress test SHIB because no one owns the supply. It's locked up in Uniswap. So you have to buy it to control it. Same way you got to buy it to burn it. That's what makes it special. And Doge,
okay.
Doge in infinite supply minted Litecoin. It's on a shit network and it's infinite supply, meaning it's consistently being made.
Fuck Doge, bro.
Fuck Doge. Seriously, Doge is shit.
Let me ask you something.
Cryptocurrency but Doge.
Do you like any other currency? Are there any other ones out there that you're like, this one makes this is interesting?
That's the thing. If you want to start expanding the scope of things that I can go, well, obviously Matic, Polygon network is interesting because Disney and you have major corporations starting to build on their blockchain because look, Ethereum is too expensive transactionally. Crypto is digital real estate. Think of Bitcoin as Beverly Hills. Do you want to be buying Beverly Hills? Then buy Bitcoin. I consider SHIB Silver Lake, Los Feliz, Venice Beach before the gentrification of Twitter. You're buying a little bit of a rougher neighborhood, but you're getting it on the come up. Whereas, Beverly Hills is not going up in value. Bitcoin, I believe Bitcoin's true value to be somewhere between $40,000 to $60,000 per Bitcoin. That's what I believe the Bitcoin is worth. So I believe Bitcoin is massively undervalued right now, but you need to have the capital to make that kind of money. If you're going to buy a 0.10 of a Bitcoin, I would say get into SHIB, get into Ethereum, even Solana, which is trying to be a competitor network to Ethereum. My brother-in-law works for Solana and he'll tell you it reminds him of the early days of Facebook because he was one of the first 30 at Facebook. So,
damn, I didn't know that, bro.
Yeah, Matt Window. He's a kind of a tech celebrity. He's worked at Facebook, Uber, and now he's part of Solana. So a lot of very intelligent people are now moving over to crypto sector because Sammy, buddy, 300 million people are in it. It's tech nerds. It's literally the best and the brightest people are in crypto, and then the degenerate gamblers like myself who are like, no risk. The biggest risk is not taking a risk. The biggest risk you can take in life is not taking a risk. Regret will kick your ass way worse than taking a loss. Period.
But you also don't want to go broke.
Well, but Howie,
a fraction of a penny, you could buy a bunch, and what do you got to lose?
How about Solana's down 90% for the year?
And Solana just got flipped by by Polygon. So and think about this: Solana was a top 5 crypto in the bull run. So it's a large part of what this is communicating to the investment community the value of cryptocurrency, why buying this digital real estate. It's actually what the metaverse claims to be, is cryptocurrency. The metaverse wants to say it's this cool place where you're going to put these headsets and live this alternative life. The reality is you're existing on the blockchain. All the blockchain is a recorded transactional history. So what we're doing is we're turning our money into something that's recorded and transacted on a blockchain. And I can assure you, just because of the way the community is growing, the fact that there's a card game that is going to be burnt. I just bought a pack of cards, a virtual pack of cards on a card game, and I'm incentivized to do so because 5% of all total revenues go towards the burn community. And I am not alone.
There's when you also, say like card game, when you say card game, explain that. Like when you say card game, I think it's strip poker.
I love your mind, Howie. Like I said, I'm a big fan of the podcast. I love the show. So let me explain the Shiba Eternity card game. It's similar to what they did with Pokemon Go, where you get a deck of cards, you line these cards up, and then it's basically a numbers game. But this game is meant for like 9 and 10-year-old kids. That's who plays Magic the Gathering. That's who plays Pokemon. And that's what this card game is now engineering itself towards, a whole new set of people and because it's got a bunch of investors who are telling kids to go play it, those parents are happy to play and give money to a freemium game, because that's what it is. It's free to download, but if you want to open up certain things quickly, you have to pay for microtransactions. They're taking 5% of those microtransactions and burning it into the market cap every quarter. So we're going to see some huge burns into the market cap from the Shiba Inu game development community. And I want to illustrate who this game community is. They have William Volk, a former head of VP at Activision, who is responsible for building Diablo and Call of Duty. Some of the people that they have associated and affiliated with their development team are some of the best and brightest people in both gaming and in the metaverse. They have I think it's Third Story Development, who's worked with Disney, worked on their metaverse project. So Shiba Inu is a metaverse project, it's a gaming project, and it's a blockchain, layer 2 Ethereum blockchain solution. And think about this. I'm not telling any notes here. You haven't seen me looking at any charts. This is all wisdom that I've accumulated in over a year and a half of being in this community. I held at the ATH. I could have sold and been 10x on my money, but I held because I believe the true value of Shiba of a Shiba Inu million to be around $150 to $200 per million. I truly believe that that's what we're going to see on the next bull run. And I might cash some of it out then, but until I see at least $100 per million, I'm not selling anything. It has the capacity, now that we've instituted all these things within the community, it has the capacity to easily go to a cent, because there were a lot of naysayers and doubters within the crypto community who were bullish on crypto, but were negative on SHIB and not
to go to a
cent.
cent. That would mean they have to get rid of those 4 zeros. That's like,
but that's the power of the burns. Think about if each holder, there's right now there's 1.2 million SHIB holders in wallets. That's DEX, DEX, decentralized holders. It's estimated because of CEXs or centralized exchanges like crypto.com or Coinbase, that the rough amount of holders there are in the SHIB experience or Shiba Inu community is about 4 million, 5 million. So there's only 4 or 5 million people who are in this liquidity pool. I think our market cap somewhere around $6 billion. But it is the most held Ethereum coin within the whales, meaning that all the high value Ethereum people, the people that own massive amounts of crypto, this is their most held asset, because they know it has, people say, well, it's a meme coin. That's incorrect. It's a DeFi liquidity pooling token. You can take your SHIB, Howie, through a Coinbase or a MetaMask wallet. You can deposit your SHIB into ShibaSwap and generate the gas fees for their blockchain Bone passive income. So that's another reason why I'm super bullish, is I've got 750 million SHIB sitting in ShibaSwap just making me passive income. So you don't ever have to sell your SHIB, and you can generate revenue by putting it in a DeFi ecosystem that has been built by the development community to help increase the value and decrease the supply, because coins within the ShibaSwap aren't in circulation and aren't being traded.
So why did they need all these games and stuff to do burns? Why can't the community just commit to burning 90% of SHIB now? I mean, with this logic though, right? It would go sky high if they did, right?
Because Johnny, that's a great question. Like I said, there's only 4 million holders, and the beautiful thing about these burns is it's a great way to get people who might not hold SHIB to become a part of the burn community without them being aware of it. You see what I'm saying? Like, here's a great way. Yeah. You might not know anything about cryptocurrency, but you love the Shiba Eternity game. And that's the whole thing, is say Shiba Eternity becomes the next Magic the Gathering. Now you got a bunch of 15-year-olds who don't know anything about crypto, but they just want to play this fun game. In the game, I'm 44 years old. I am not the target market demographic for this game. I love this game, and it's a really fun card game to play. If you play games on your phone, and another aside to this, Bricksbusters on Google and on iPhone, that guy, Shib Superstore on Twitter, all the revenue that goes down from the Bricksbuster game gets burned. So there's not just the Shib Eternity, but there's a lot of video games you might not know that are committed to the burn community. So that's the beautiful thing. The reason why we need all of this is that it's hard to convince people to be altruistic, Johnny. A lot of people are very only much about their self-interest. But what makes Shiba Inu very interesting is that we have found ways to hack the self-interest. And okay, you need something for your money. Well, you can buy some coffee, and that money, that's going to burn. Oh, you need something, a return on that. Well, you buy this sweatshirt. This sweatshirt burns. There's a bunch of like clothing shops.
What is this? The Wire? Shops. We got nothing but burners around here.
Yeah. Can you explain though how the people? So if say you did sell a sweatshirt that and is it the profits that are burned? What is burned? How are people making money and also burning tokens at the same time? I don't quite understand that. So here's what happens. There's a one channel on Shiba Burn Tube, and he takes 50% of his revenue and allocates that towards buying tokens from Coinbase and then taking those tokens and sending it to the dead wallet, which Vitalik Buterin started. So Vitalik Buterin, when he received this massive amount of SHIB, he used it to donate to India, but then took the rest of it and sent it to this dead wallet. Sending tokens to a dead wallet that no one has the keys to opening is called burning the token. I understand that. But what the part I don't understand is where in a transaction like you said, like buying a sweatshirt, what what part of that is so the person in that scenario is paying in SHIB, right? What happens to the SHIB that they're paying? They're buying.
So you
sweater
can,
with.
and because of things like that's a great question. You're right. There are some people that will transact SHIB and you can buy goods from them with SHIB. And also, I remember Sam brought up crypto needs the ability for people to buy and sell and transact stuff with their cryptocurrency. And because of a company called BitPay, BITPAY, you can transact without selling your crypto for that. They will use your cryptocurrency to buy and sell through BitPay. So we're starting to see these things develop where you can use your crypto like you would use fiat currency to transact.
Coinbase has that now, Johnny, too, a service. You're not it's not as widely accepted as BitPay, but it's coming on.
But it's coming. But that's the thing, is it's coming. Look, if I had to choose to put my money in a savings account or a cryptocurrency account, I would put my money in a cryptocurrency account. Because, I might lose some cash, but the odds of me gaining cash within an 18 to 2 year span are far greater than me losing. And I'm definitely going to lose money in a savings account because of the inflation rates. Like, in my opinion,
Coinbase is in trouble, man. I mean, with that whole Binance possibly buying out FTX and not charging any fees, and Coinbase charges fees, they're fucked. I mean, that Coinbase could be at zero in 6 months.
I bought Coinbase stock because I like to buy the companies I transact with. It went up to like $100 and I sold it because I didn't see the value. I didn't think it was worth more than $100. So I sold my Coinbase, when it went up to 100, I'm gonna get my money and get out of here, because Coinbase's business model, and I think it's something you mentioned, Howie, it's fees. And how they get rich is by listing tokens that you can't find on other sites. Well, what happens when those other sites list those tokens? I am extremely bullish on Robinhood. As an aside, I think the Robinhood stock is massively undervalued. I use their platform to trade, and I think that if you look at what it's trading at, like $12 right now.
No, it's trading at $9.80. It was down 20% today. It's at $9.80.
Even better. Everything's taking a haircut today, right?
I do like Robinhood. I do like Robinhood more than Coinbase because only 15% of all their transactions are crypto related. The rest of them are equities.
Well, now James, are you like Robinhood because of its crypto potential, or because I have that, my old concern about you not having the keys to those wallets. We learned our lesson very hard on Celsius. Sam,
okay. Okay.
That doesn't concern you at all, especially with a company that's paused transactions, trades on stocks before.
I think that they're going to have their day in court. I think the SEC is about to find the shit out of them. And I think that that's just going to be a huge buying opportunity. I don't see the platform going anywhere. They did something to, the whole GameStop. That whole thing was them siding with the institutions over their holders. I think there's going to be a day in court. I think we're going to see some price action on the stock. I think they'll probably get penalized by the SEC, but they're not going to go out of business. This is old boys club shit. They were looking out for the big guys instead of the little guys, and the little guys are going to have their day in court. That's the beautiful thing. It's still America. But I mean, look, every platform except for Binance is kind of under a little bit in a bear market. They're all questionable, and the only reason why Binance is for certain is because CZ is a true crypto nerd. He's held things that he could have made a super amount of cash flow, but he believes in the digital asset over the fiat currency. And it's, in 2022, as we see, online banking and gaming, and it's growing. It's not going anywhere. Well, cryptocurrency is the money of the metaverse. You want to buy something in the metaverse? That's cryptocurrency. And we're trending. Look, Zuck wants to take us to the metaverse, and his stock prices reflect that. We're not in the metaverse.
Failing miserably right now.
Huge. And his investors are pulling. That's all they can do because they have no say. There's no board seats for them to say anything. He's got a death grip on the company. But look, the way I look at it, I like things cheap. You want to say, like, it sucks if you bought high, but if you're entering the market, which is what this podcast is really for, people looking to enter markets, people looking to educate themselves, looking to understand where investment opportunities are when something's overvalued, putting a limit on something. Right now, a lot of things are in big buy zones, in my opinion. I'm kicking myself in the ass because I could have been buying Exxon at 80, and Exxon I think is trading at 110 right now, and I had my eyes on Exxon at 80. So it's like, that's regret. I would have much rather have the remorse of buying something and taking it at a loss than the regret of shit. I wanted to buy that, and now it's up how much, and that's where we are. I was looking at
Exxon.
James, you
Yes.
crushed it. You came on here, you crushed it. You convinced all of us. I've always been a sheep guy. These guys are assholes.
Well, I know. What do you mean,
I-
Sam? I still have my money in SHIB that used to be worth about $5,000, and now it's worth, I don't know, $700.
Just stay
Johnny,
in
be
the
patient.
pocket. Just
Just
stay
be
in the
patient.
pocket.
Be patient, Johnny. Be patient.
I'm patient.
Be like water. Be
Yes, sir.
like water. James, where can they find you? Where can they find you?
Mr. 3 MMA on Instagram. That's MISTER3, the number 3 MMA on Instagram. I am on there, and you can also follow my cannabis company, BMG_cannabis_CO_. It's in my bio on Instagram. So give me a follow. Say you like Shiba Inu or you hate Shiba Inu. Just reach out and say hi.
All right, we'll include the links. Nobody knows how James actually makes money, but he always drives.
I own a weed company.
Okay, dude. Thank you for coming on, James. You're the best.
I
Hope
love
you
you
guys enjoyed
guys.
this. That interview was brought to you by Monster Muffins.
If you're anything like us at Cash Daddies, you have a certain tendency to put things off until the very last minute. Sam hasn't been to the dentist in 7 years. And while most of the time that works out, the one thing in life you really can't afford to wait on is setting up term coverage life insurance. You've probably seen life insurance commercials on TV and thought, yeah, I'll look into that later. No. This isn't something you can wait on. Choose life insurance through Ladder today. Ladder is 100% digital. That means no doctors, no needles, no paperwork when you apply for $3 million in coverage or less. You just answer a few questions about your health in an application. Ladder's customers rate them 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, and they made Forbes' best life insurance list for 2021. You just need a few minutes and a phone or laptop to apply. Ladder's smart algorithms work in real time, so you'll find out instantly if you're approved. No hidden fees, cancel any time, get a full refund if you change your mind in the first 30 days. Ladder policies are issued by insurers with long, proven histories of paying claims. They're rated A and A+ by AM Best. Finally, since life insurance costs more as you age, now's the time to cross it off your list. So go to ladderlife.com/cash today to see if you're instantly approved. That's LADDER life.com/cash, ladderlife.com/cash.
Thank you, James, for coming on and setting the record straight. Probably the most coherent I've heard James in a long time. So that was an honor. James is always willing to step up to the plate when we need him. So go.
The
check
guy
him
knows
out.
his shit with SHIB, man.
Boy,
Yeah.
He really does.
you're not shipping.
I have him in my phone as James, the crackhead PR guy. So he has that crackhead enthusiasm. He's a good guy, and we appreciate him spending some time with us on Cash Daddies. He does listen to the show, and he's a big fan, so that's cool. So, guys, let's get in some questions before we go.
All right, we're just gonna grab the
to
best of the-
Patreon.
The best of the Twitter questions here. This is from the Sith Lord 66. Howie, people say millionaires are born in times like these. What do we need to do at this specific time to put us ahead while everyone else is panicking? Should we buy? What sector should we look at, etc.?
Yeah, right now, I mean, I'll give you an example. Year and a half ago, ETFs like OIH, Big Oil, XLE, Oil and Energy, these things were down 70%. They were way, way down. And I told people, get in, both hands, dive in. I put a bunch in my portfolio, and they hit all-time highs today. I mean, ridiculous, up 70, 75%. And that's what you do. You want to buy things, good, solid companies that have been absolutely beaten up or blasted. So if you're looking at a sector like right now, look at something like XLY, which is consumer discretionaries. It's down 35% for the year. Its largest holdings are stocks that we have not bought, like Amazon, Tesla. Actually, we bought Amazon a few days ago at 89, where it is right now. But this thing's down, so you want to be buying it. You want to be buying good sectors that are beaten up and smashed. The QQQ, which is loaded up with Apple, Microsoft, Google, down 33% from the year. BBH still down 17%. Biotechs. You want to be buying these beaten up sectors so that a year from now, when the S&P's up 17% and you're up 40%, you're headed towards the millionaire finish line a lot quicker.
Okay. It's from Crypto Cowboy. Where's the best place in the world for an American family with kids to move to, with the world economy being the way it is? And it's looking like it's going to be that way for at least the next few years. So he's looking for a landing spot. It sounds like elsewhere. I don't know where he is
Everybody
now.
loves
So it's hard to say.
Rica, but I can't guarantee anything.
Costa Rica, is that what you said?
But he's got kids, so he can't be down there banging prostitutes. Like that's surfing and just making bad decisions. In this country, where do you move to? I mean, I don't know. Boise, Idaho. I got a friend that lives there. He loves it. I don't know. You got to find a place where you're most importantly, your kids got to have good schools. You don't want to be going to like southern Mississippi or East Alabama. I mean, you want to go someplace where you can make good cash, maybe get an extra side gig, kids go to school, everybody's happy, buy a little house. Properties are dropping right now, interest rates are up, but you can get a variable rate, lock in a year or two from now at a fixed. Rates are gonna settle in here at some point. There's a lot of good places to move, wouldn't you say, Sam? You like Tennessee?
I love Tennessee. I love Chattanooga, which is a great place.
Didn't you say everybody that moved to Tennessee had moved out?
Yeah, but that was Nashville. I'm saying Chattanooga. I like I'm not going on whether you like it or not. I don't know, man. But what I'm going for is
Chattanooga it's too small. There's only 180,000 people live there. That's too small.
I like Dallas. I love Fort Lauderdale, dog. If I could get the mother of the children to agree to that, I'd be there tomorrow.
No, that's the spot. That's a nice area for sure.
I'll go Fort Lauderdale tomorrow.
The problem there, though, is hurricanes. You want to have a place where, if you're really worried about your future and like disaster scenarios, you want a place where you can live off the land, which ain't really that part of Florida. You want to be away from the hurricanes. You want a place where you can afford to invest without a lot of in your property, without a lot of restrictions and red tape, like California. So California's out immediately.
So what are you thinking, Johnny?
Middle of the country, I could see, like, if you were in
I gotta be warm.
Mid-Atlantic. Okay, well, Mid-Atlantic, then you don't get harsh winters there. Mid-Atlantic. But I think you want to stay off the coast a little bit. You just want to be able to, if shit hits the fan, to provide for your family, I think. And cheap land is abundant in those areas.
Yeah, West Virginia, man. You can run moonshine.
That's cold.
Get crazy.
Yeah. Even the country in Virginia is not bad. That's that. Once you get to East Virginia,
nice, bro. Georgia's nice.
Georgia's beautiful. Yeah, shit. Yeah, dude. Georgia, near that South Carolina border, like Greenville, South Carolina. That area is gorgeous, man. And
hot in the summer, though.
Cheap land. Yeah, it does. It's not any hotter than here, though. It's just humid.
Yeah.
All right. Gary asks, our friend Gary, is crypto disappearing? And it's hard to argue with him.
It's getting smashed. I mean, we've said it from the get-go. Sam has said, the big boys are still going to be here, Bitcoin, Ethereum. The rest of these guys, I don't know, man. I don't know. You hear negative news on these little guys every single day. So now you got SEC stepping in, you got regulations. I don't know who's going to be standing when this is done.
That's a real worry, right? The SEC stuff, like now they're really taking a look at some of these things. That's a concern.
Yeah, you get those guys involved and they'll start shutting shit down in 2 seconds if they don't see, valid balance sheets or anything close to it. They've shut stocks down before, so why wouldn't they? This shit.
What kind of people go into that business, Howie? What kind of people are they? Like I imagine them being like the referees of finance, the people who go into refereeing. Are they those kind of people? Kind of like math teachers. Is that what we're talking here?
I had a friend that actually, you major in finance or something, and you have an interest in stocks and bonds and investing. And, after a while, you take a look and you're like, I don't want to be the one making decisions and bankrupting this family or that family or having that stress. So, a lot of times you go to work for the SEC, you take your test, you pass the 7. And they don't just do that. They look into a lot of crime, like the FBI works with them on trying to find where, people are hiding money. And a lot of it is crooked trading. Here somebody's brother works for a certain company. They had a meeting. They're buying out another company, which we know will make that stock price go up. That person tells his sister, who tells her cousin, who works in an office 800 miles away. That's the shit those guys track. They look at,
See, I don't really have a problem with that. I mean, come on. They're not going to get Pelosi
I don't
for it.
I don't either, but that's what they do. That's what they do.
How much of actual guys who work in trading, like you used to do, Howie, how much of their trades are actually shit like what you just described? I mean, is that a real, that happens a lot, right?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Happened to a guy I used to play in a basketball league with in Georgia. Same thing. It's happened. His sister worked in an office in New York. She knew that there was a merger coming. She told him, he told all his buddies, and they got a little greedy, probably bought too much. And when the stock went up 400% on a Monday, immediately that sends out red flags to somebody sitting in Washington, D.C. And within 3 days, they have people knocking on their doors asking questions. It's over with.
How do you paper that? Do you fake research? What do you do to paper that over to make it look legit?
I mean, to hide that?
To make it look, you'd have to have like some research to support why you made the trade, right? If you didn't have inside information,
well, they're going to look at your trading history. They're going to say,
really?
wow, this is kind of weird.
So even what's the standard of proof, I guess is what I'm saying. Is it like a court, or can they just get you without?
Yeah, they'll look it over and say, okay, this guy's bought tons of blocks of this is that. This doesn't look too strange. We can see how he's done that.
Yeah.
But if it's a dude that hasn't traded stock in 11 years and he goes out and buys 100,000 shares of a company at $10 and it goes to 15 and he makes, $2.5 million, they're going to want to know why.
I'm just looking at it here. It says in civil matters, the SEC, according to the courts, only needs to prove its case by the preponderance of evidence. So it's not the criminal standard that we're used to, beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
It's the preponderance of evidence, which
you can get it real easy. I'm telling you can get it right in the ass. Very simple. That's why when I saw the SEC was going after Hex, I'm like, these guys have no idea.
It's all over.
It's over fast.
And
they can get everything, right? They can get whatever they want
within hours, man. Within hours. I mean, they got guys that can go in and figure shit out. They got the smartest people in the world. They got coders working for them. They can go into anything, man. The SEC. Wait till you see. It'll be interesting in about a week to see what happens here.
Yeah,
because they're going to want to. They're going to look at a trail. I mean, the thing about the SEC is you're fine until they're after you, and when they're hot on you, and you're fucked.
All right. I just didn't know. I thought that they would have had the same standard, or the burden of proof, would have been beyond a reasonable doubt. But knowing that it's not, that's
one entity. No, it's just shit. That's why like the mob and anything like that. Like, the FBI is okay, but you don't want the SEC on you, man. No. They can shut all your assets down tomorrow.
Last question here. This is from Daniel Ibarra. Kramer said just now that it's not the right time to buy big tech. Can he suck a fat one? Ask Dan.
He can suck a fat one.
This guy's such a jerk off. He just, he just spews and he forgets what he says. He forgets what he says on a Monday, on a Friday. And, he pisses me off because here's a guy that told everybody and their mother, buy as much NVIDIA as you can when it was at 170. It goes to 130 and he says, oh man, they got problems. It goes to 115, and that's where we went in hard. I bought a lot of it at 115, and he said, "No, I wouldn't touch it. I would not touch it." Well, you know what? That was 3 weeks ago. Today it's at 147. It's back. Looks like it's going to bust above 150. He still has it. Now he's going to tell everybody to buy it once it hits 160, 170. With that being said, it probably is a good idea not to go in all in, but to start buying some of these companies like Amazon at $90, like Microsoft, Apple below 140, Google. Yeah, you're not going to get hurt buying these things. Meta, I mean, it's trading at like 9 times earnings. It's cheap. Even if Zuckerberg fucks everything up over the next year, it's still going to go up 15-20%.
Okay. All right. That's it for questions.
Real quick. So this is just in. FTX.com sales to rival Binance Holding LTG could jeopardize a long list of sports partnerships around the world. The cryptocurrency exchange is led by billionaire Sam Bankman-Fried, linked to a $135 million 19-year agreement last year for naming rights to the Miami Heat's basketball arena. So they might be looking for a new name arena. Crazy, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
That is crazy. What's your pick, Howie?
Look, I'm going to say it again right now. I like it even more, and I like it because Lyft came out with earnings today and they shit the bed. And that's a company I've never liked. They missed on all different fucking ways. And I like Uber. I'm going to say it again. UBER. If you can buy it now. It's trading at 28 and change. It's back down a little bit. Actually 27.40, 27.39. I like Uber here, man. Really like it. I think they're going to dominate that area. That's probably a $50 stock in a year.
Okay. Well, great day today. Great show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys run over to the Patreon. That's where the action's at. And we'll see you over there.